We are in the process of learning about looping in C language. In this lecture, we are going to learn about the do-while loop, how it works, about the syntax, and we are going to demonstrate the working of do-while loop by writing a computer program. So let's get started. Let us take an example of displaying the message hello in the screen for 5 times. So we need a looping statement here because we need to repeat displaying the message hello for 5 times. Okay, so we have already discussed that whenever you are talking about looping, you need to have 2 questions in your mind. The first one is what is to be repeated. So in this case, I would like to repeat displaying the message hello. So I am going to repeat this statement printf hello, and the next question that you need to ask yourself is how many times you need to repeat this statement. Obviously it's given in the question itself. I need to repeat this statement for 5 times. Okay, so you have already seen how to actually solve this using for loop and while loop in our previous lectures. So this is how you display hello in the screen for 5 times using for loop, and this is how you display hello in the screen for 5 times using the while loop. Now in this lecture, we are going to see how we can do the same thing using the do while loop. So first of all, let's start by writing a syntax for do while loop. So as the name suggests, in do while there is a keyword called as do. So you first of all start by writing do, okay, and then open the braces. Now you can write a statement here or multiple statements here. So whatever you write here, that becomes the body of the loop, okay. So first of all, you write the body of the loop, and then after you close this brace, after that you write while here, and then in the parenthesis you give the condition, okay, condition. This is your syntax for do while loop, okay. So how it works is quite different than how for and while loop works, okay. In this case, you immediately execute the body without checking the condition. That's the checkpoint you need to notice here, okay. So first execute the body, and once you execute the body, all the statements that's there in the body of the do while loop, okay, this is the body, these are the statements in the body of the loop. Once all these statements are executed, then you check the condition. So step number 1, execute the body. Step number 2, then you check the condition. Now this condition may be true or false, right? So if this condition is true, in that case, you go and execute the body one more time and then check the condition, okay. If the condition is true, go back and execute the body one more time, again you check the condition. Keep on repeating this until your condition becomes false. So whenever the condition becomes false, then you stop your loop, okay. Then you stop your loop and you come out of the loop, okay. So in case of for loop, what happens is, first of all, you evaluate the condition, only then you go inside the body if the condition is true. Similarly, in the while loop also, first you evaluate the condition. If it is true, you go to the body and execute the statement. But in a do while loop, first you execute the body, only then you check the condition. So it's the other way around, okay. Now let's try to write a statement for displaying hello in the screen for 5 times using do while loop. So first of all, I write do, okay, and then this is the body of my do while loop, okay. So what is the body? What do I do? What do I repeat? I repeat displaying the message hello. So I'll write here printf hello in the body of the loop, okay, printf hello. What is the condition? Condition is I less than equals to 5. I write it here while, okay, because this is a do while loop, do while, and the condition is I is less than equals to 5, and you give a semicolon here after the while, okay. Now here, where do you put your initialization and where do you put your updation? So initialization, as in the while loop, you will have to put it before the loop starts. So I'll put the initialization here. So I will be initialized to 1, okay, and this updation statement will be the last statement of the body of the do while loop. So I'll write I plus plus here, okay. So this is how you actually write the statement for displaying hello in the screen for 5 times, okay. The important point to note here is the for loop and the while loop is called as the entry controlled loop, okay, meaning before you enter to the body of the loop, first you check the condition. So before you enter, the condition is checked. So before you enter, the condition is checked, therefore it is called as entry controlled loop. Same is the case in the while loop. First you check the condition, only if it is true you go into the body and execute the statement. But do while is the exit controlled loop. Exit controlled loop. So the control for the loop is at the exit of the loop. Okay, so that in that case, first you execute the body no matter what is going to be there in the condition. Only then you check the condition. So at the exit point you check the condition. Therefore it is the exit controlled loop. Okay, so do while is the exit controlled loop, and for and while they are entry controlled loop. Okay, this is what you need to note down. Now let us understand the working of the do while loop in more details for the same problem of displaying hello in the screen for 5 times. Okay, we are going to trace this code and then we are going to see what would be the output in details. Okay, so first of all, I is initialized to 1. So initially I is having the value 1. This is executed first. This is initialization. Now I go into do while loop. So immediately I'll see the statement printf hello. So this is what I execute first. Okay, printf hello. So I do not check the condition initially. Okay, I just directly display the message hello. Okay, and then I'll execute the I++ statement because that is there in the body. Okay, so I++ will make I as 2. Previously it was 1. So I increment by 1. So 1 plus 1 becomes 2. So I becomes 2. And this is the last statement in the do while loop, right? Then you go and check the condition. This is what you do. Step number 3, you check the condition. So now you check the condition. Condition is I less than equals to 5. This is the condition. I is 2. 2 less than equals to 5. Is it true or false? This is true, right? So if this is true, what you do is, if this is true, you go to step number 1. If this is true, only if this is true. Okay, this is true in this case because 2 less than equals to 5 is true. So you go to step number 1, that is printing hello. So you display the hello in the screen. Okay, then you execute step number 2, that is increment the value of I by 1. So now I becomes 3. Now you check the condition. Okay, so now you check the condition. What is the condition? I less than equals to 5, that is I is 3. 3 less than equals to 5. Is this true or false? This is true. So you again go back and execute the statement in the body. You will encounter the statement printf hello. So you display the message hello in the screen, and then you increment the value of I by 1. So now I becomes 4. Previously it was 3. Now it becomes 4. Okay. Then once this is executed, you come to step number 3 and then check the condition. What is the condition? I less than equals to 5. I is 4. So 4 less than equals to 5. Is it true or false? This is again true. If this is true, what do? You go and execute the statement printf hello. So you will display the message hello in the screen, and then you increment the value of I by 1. So now I becomes 5. Okay. So as of now I have displayed hello 4 times. Now what you do is I becomes 5. Okay. So now again you come and check the condition I less than equals to 5. So 5, I is 5. 5 is less than equals to 5 is a true statement. This is true. So again you go back and then display the message hello in the screen. So hello is displayed, and then you increment the value of I by 1. So now I becomes 6. Okay. Now whenever I becomes 6, then you again come and execute step number 3. You will execute this statement I less than equals to 5. I is 6. 6 less than equals to 5. Now this statement is false. Now whenever this becomes false, you come out of the loop. Okay, you do not repeat. So if this is false, you have to come out of the do while loop. So in this case 6 less than equals to 5 is false. So you just come out of the loop and you do not go and repeat printing the message hello. So you exit from the loop. Okay, that means the loop is terminated. Okay, loop is terminated because the value of I becomes 6 and the condition 6 less than equals to 5 becomes false. So the loop stops here. Okay, so if you count, I have displayed hello for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Okay, this is how the do while loop actually works. Now let us try to compare between the for loop, the while loop and the do while loop. Okay, so here I have taken a loop. Okay, initialization is I is initialized to 1. In all 3 cases, see, I is initialized to 1. In all 3 cases, the condition is I greater than 2. I greater than 2 is the condition in all 3 cases. The increment is I++. In all 3 loops, it is I++. And inside the body, I am displaying the message looping in all 3 loops. Okay, I'm displaying the message looping. Now let's try to trace the output for loop. Okay, now in the for loop, first of all, I is 1, then you check the condition. The condition is I greater than 2. So I is 1, so 1 greater than 2 is false. So whenever 1 greater than 2 is false, what happens? This statement becomes false. So you have to directly exit the loop. So you will come outside of the loop. Okay, so you exit. Okay, and nothing is displayed. Looping is not displayed because it immediately exits the loop. So nothing is displayed. Okay, now let's talk about the while loop. In case of while loop, first of all, I is 1, initialized to 1. Then you check the condition, I greater than 2. Okay, what is I? I is 1. 1 greater than 2 is again false. So if 1 greater than 2 is false, what happens is it will immediately exit the loop. Okay, so because this is false, it will come out of the loop. So loop terminates, and again in this case also nothing is printed. That means this statement displaying looping is not executed in both for loop and in the while loop. Now let's look at the do while loop. It's the same statement that I have put there in do while loop as well. Okay, in do while loop, first of all, I is initialized to 1. Okay, now in do while loop, because this is the exit control loop, I do not check the condition. I immediately go and try to execute the statement here. So I'll execute printf looping, so it will display looping in the screen. Okay, then I will be incremented. Now I becomes 2. Okay, then it will check the condition, 2 is greater than 2. 2 is greater than 2 is false, right? This is false. So if this is false, the loop exits now. Okay, so in this case, if you see, in case of do while loop, the looping is displayed once. So do while loop, no matter what the condition may be, but this statement in the body will be executed at least once. Always this is guaranteed. In do while loop, at least once the statement in the body will be always executed. But that may not be the case in case of the while loop and the for loop. So therefore, there is a difference between while, for and the do while loop. Okay, and one more thing you need to note down is that do while loop is the exit controlled loop and for and while loop is the entry controlled loop. I hope you have understood the working of do while loop in details now. Now we are going to write a computer program to demonstrate the working of do while loop in more details. So we are interested to display the sum of numbers ranging from 2 to 20 as we have done in the case of while loop as well as in the for loop. Okay, so I would like to display the sum 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus up to 20. I would like to display the sum. This is the syntax for do while loop. Okay, do, then I'll have the body, and then I'll write while and do the condition. You have to note down that do while is the exit controlled loop. Okay, so it controls the loop during the exit of the loop. Okay, now this is the program that we have done in the previous lecture. This is finding the sum of numbers from 2 to 20 using the while loop. Let's do the same thing using do while loop. So in do while loop, first what you do is first you write do. Okay, this is the keyword, open the parenthesis, and then this is the body. Okay, so here what you write is you will just copy this body. Okay, whatever is the body here, I'll just copy it here. Okay, initialization also I can copy. Okay, initialization I'll have to do before the start of the do while loop. Okay, and this is the body, and once everything is done, I'll have to display the sum. Okay, so this is how you translate the while loop into the do while loop. Okay, so I equals to 2 comes outside of the do while. Okay, but here I have not put the while part. Okay, that you need to put. So here I'll have to write while. Okay, and then I have to give the condition. Condition here is I less than 21. I less than 21. Then you give the semicolon. Do not forget to give a semicolon after while in a do while loop. Okay, so this is a do while loop. And the body, I'm actually adding the value of I every time in each iteration. Okay, and each time I'm incrementing the value of I by 1 as well. Okay, I keep on repeating this until I is less than 21. Whenever I becomes greater than equals to 21, I stop the loop and then I display the sum. Okay, so let me just take this out because I just have to do for the do while loop here. Okay, let's try to compile this code. Let's run it. Okay, now you see the sum is 209, which is correctly displayed here. So this is how do-while loop works. So the thing that you need to note down here is, if you understand how for loop works, it will be very easy for you to understand how while loop works and how do-while loop works. Okay, so this is the end of all these three loops. We have already discussed for loop in a detailed video or in a detailed lecture. In a separate lecture, we have discussed while loop, and in this lecture, we have discussed do while loop. Okay, if you have any confusion in while loop and for loop, please go and watch the previous two lectures. Okay, so that's all in this lecture. We're going to do some exciting problems related to looping in our subsequent lectures. So until then, stay tuned.